I'm Jim Jr. from JDM Engineering. Welcome to another installment of our show this week at JDM. We're here this week with a bunch of cool stuff. We're introducing Chris to our videos this week. He's one of our sales guys. I decided to get him involved with the videos so he could help show off some of his customers' cars as well. This week he's going to take you through a couple of his customers' cars, and I'll finish up with some of mine. If you want to step inside the shop with us, we'll start off with Chris, but right back after that we'll be coming to me.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. We're out here in the shop, and we're with one of my customers' cars. Basically, this came in as a stage 1 car. We already set him up once. Really liked what we had to offer him. His name's Mike Delisani, and he's actually from Jackson, New Jersey. He's a big-time racer, and after testing tune, he likes to do the Gamblers events, so having the automatic and having the consistency of the saline blower is real important to him. He had about 425 coming in at the wheels, the basic stage 1 package. He added spark plugs to that package on our recommendation, a set of ICM brackets, trying to get some more traction. He came back in the second time looking for more power. He was previously running 12.5 at 109 very consistently in New Jersey's 100-degree heat as of late, but that wasn't enough for him. In one race, he actually went 12.27 at 104. He had to hit the brakes at the 1,000-foot mark. You know, that's what happens in bracket racing. He's looking for about us to set us up with a car about 1160s right now. So we went with a 3-inch upper pulley, the new 08 Saline Extreme cold air intake kit with a 95mm PMAS sensor, upgraded him to 60-pound new style fuel injectors that don't require the harness clips, gave him a fuel block so it's a little easier for him to swap to 103 race gas. We're going to be doing dual tunes on the dyno for him, 93 octane street and 103 octane race, unleaded fuel. We also added Cook's long tube headers, catted X-pipe to this system. And we'll be thinking about doing shocks, torque converter, and rear lower control arms if he takes it to the track and decides that he needs it. In the shop this week, we also got Greg Pierce's 2004 Saline S281 supercharged car. He's a doctor, and this is just a weekend toy for him, so making maximum horsepower wasn't a priority. Just giving a little more throttle response, a little more boost from the factory that other people don't have, and have a little more fun with it. So we added a 66mm upper pulley, 42-pound injectors, a 90mm mass air sensor, and an air kit, and a custom SCT tune. He also decided he wanted to try Maximum Motorsports rear lower control arms, so we threw them on along with a set of drag radials so he could have a little more fun with the car. Back to you, Jimmy.
Thanks, Chris. This week we brought in my customer's car, Ed Hinker. It's a 2007 Saline Extreme. This torch red Mustang came in for some of our upgrades, along with the 08 Extreme Air Kit and the 08 Extreme Heat Exchanger upgrade. We ended up putting the car on the dyno, and it knocked out 531 rear wheel horsepower. That's over 70 horsepower more than this car came with stock. Basically, our JDM upgrade kit consists of just 60-pound injectors, a larger diameter crank pulley, a different supercharger belt after that, a set of colder spark plugs, and our vacuum line upgrade kit. Along with that, we also performed our custom dyno tune. Ed's car came all the way from South Dakota. He's one of the promoters and originators of the Sturgis Mustang Rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. Him and Frank Lawton, two partners in this Sturgis Mustang Rally, both have had their Salines out here. Frank was out here over the winter where he trailered his car out here. Ed's borrowing the Sturgis Mustang Rally trailer to pick his car up next week. He was really excited to get this car when he picks it up. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to drive with all that extra horsepower we just added to it. Matt Grendel also brought in his 2008 Bullet Mustang. This special edition Mustang came with a rated 300 engine horsepower. We took him up to about 350 horsepower with a custom dyno tune, Cook's full exhaust, which include long tube headers, and a catless high flow H-pipe. This hooked right up to his Ford Racing Bullet exhaust. We also installed a set of Steeda underdrive pulleys and an MGW short throw shifter. At the end of the day, Matt's car dynoed at 320 rear wheel horsepower, showing its potential for about 350 to 355 horsepower at the engine. Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords has always worked with us for many years. One of the projects we've been involved with is their Red Hot Chili Pepper, the Focus. It came here just about a couple weeks ago for a dyno tune. found out it needed a little bit more than that, some engine tune-up, a couple little bit of bolt-ons, some modifications to get it on the dyno. Now that everything's ready to go, we should have it on the dyno here next week. Hoping to turn out some big power numbers. Now, big power numbers for this car is probably only about 250 horsepower at the tire. It's about half of what we're used to working with, but for a little 4-cylinder, it should be a fun little car. Back in our fabrication shop, Joe Gambino is off to work again on Don Carson's F-150 Lightning. This F-150 Lightning you guys have seen here before, but we've fitted a custom Ford GT engine into it, along with an aluminum 5.4 short block. We're running the Whipple 3.4 supercharger on top, and with the single blade throttle body, we've had to modify a couple of things to get the air induction system to fit. Joe's just finishing up this now. We should be done with it hopefully by the end of the week, and on the dyno with it next week. This week we also had B&B Ford bring in one of their 550 horsepower Saleen supercharged Mustang cars. Andrew Bush gave me a phone call this week from B&B Ford. Said they had a couple of problems with an installation they performed on a Mustang with the Saleen 550 upgrade kit. So we decided to do him a favor and get the car in here right away. He trailered it up all the way from South Carolina. We put it on our dyno, quickly found out that there was a problem with the fuel pump installation. Only one of the fuel pumps were working on the twin fuel pump system. So what we did was we rewired the entire fuel pump system, had it up and running in about 4 hours, put it on the dyno, cranked out 470 horsepower at the tires. Right off the bat, we were able to diagnose this for them and get them up and running in about 4 hours. Car's going back on a trailer now and back to South Carolina tonight, where the owner is going to have the car tomorrow. Andrew was just doing this as a favor to the customer to make him happy. They had a couple of problems with the car, they couldn't figure it out, so they knew that they could get it done right by bringing it up here to us. Okay, what we got here is a 2008 Shelby GT500 Super Snake. This Super Snake belongs to the owner Dave Chardulo. He's actually involved with American Racing Headers. We've got his car here. We're putting a brand new engine in it. He had a little bit of bad luck with the first week owning the car. Changed the pulley on the Kenny Bell supercharger to run a little bit more boost, and didn't have quite enough an octane mixture to keep the engine together. So we're ended up putting in a 5.4 aluminum short block, which should end up saving about 115 pounds off the front of the car, as well as it's going to be capable to handle roughly 1,500 horsepower. That's about 500 more horsepower than the stock engine is capable of. Alright guys, thanks again for stopping in for another This Week at JDM. I appreciate it as always. Be sure to visit us next week where we drop this 5.4 motor in the Shelby GT500 we were just talking about, the Super Snake. If you have any questions about any of the cars or parts you saw on today's videos, you can always give a call and ask for myself or Chris at 732-780-0770. That's it, and have a great weekend.